Arrowsmith, a novel penned by Sinclair Lewis in 1925, garnered the Pulitzer Prize for Literature in 1926, though Lewis rebuffed the honor with a scathing retort. He derided the criteria, questioning its emphasis on depicting the wholesome atmosphere of American life and the highest standard of American manners and manhood, suggesting it prioritized conformity over literary merit. Some speculate Lewis's refusal stemmed from bitterness over his earlier work, Main Street, being overlooked by the award committee 5 years prior. Set in the fictional town of Elk Mills, Winnemac, common to Lewis's other works, Arrowsmith tracks the journey of Martin Arrowsmith. Martin, engrossed in medical texts from a young age, eventually joins the ranks of medical students at the University of Winnemac. There, he encounters the brilliant Dr. Max Gottlieb, who mentors him, instilling a passion for laboratory research and scientific rigor over the more pragmatic pursuits of clinical practice. Amidst his academic pursuits, Martin becomes romantically entangled with Madeline Fox, a literature student he later proposes to, albeit just the first in a series of romantic dalliances throughout the novel. Ultimately, Martin leaves Madeline for Leora Tozer, a nursing student, after a tumultuous affair. Following their graduation from Winnemac, Martin and Leora, now united in marriage, venture to the quaint town of Wheatsylvania. Despite Martin's reluctance, he forsakes research to assume the role of a physician, driven by his sense of duty to support Leora. However, Martin's medical practice fails to flourish, compounded by Leora's miscarriage, which casts a shadow over their hopes. Disenchanted with rural life, the couple migrates to the bustling city of Nautilus, where Martin resumes his medical career. Yet Nautilus disappoints them, prompting another relocation, this time to Chicago. There, Martin finds employment as a pathologist at Rouncefield Clinic, only to confront a culture of unethical practices and avarice among his colleagues. However, Martin's fortunes take a turn when he reconnects with his former mentor, Dr. Gottlieb, now engaged in groundbreaking research at a prestigious institute in New York. Invited to join Gottlieb's team, Martin eagerly embraces the chance to immerse himself once more in the pursuit of pure scientific inquiry. Initially, Martin thrives in New York, but the pressure to produce results mounts, and the glamour of the institute begins to fade. Despite this, Martin achieves a significant breakthrough, identifying a bacteriophage with the potential to combat pneumonia and plague. Yet, his elation is short-lived when he discovers that much of his discovery had already been documented by another scientist. Undeterred by this setback, Martin perseveres in his research. When news spreads of a bubonic plague outbreak on the fictional Caribbean island of St. Hubert's, Martin is called upon to relocate there for further study and treatment development. Accompanied by his wife and colleagues from the Institute, Martin grapples with ethical dilemmas as he questions the readiness to deploy the bacteriophage without rigorous testing, a stance aligned with his steadfast commitment to scientific integrity. However, tragedy strikes when the plague claims the lives of his wife and colleagues, leaving Martin with no recourse but to resort to the bacteriophage, which proves effective. Amidst the turmoil on the island, he encounters Joyce Lanyon, a wealthy heiress, whom he later weds and fathers a child with. Upon his return to New York, Martin is hailed as a savior, earning promotions and even offered the directorship of the prestigious McGurk Institute. Despite the accolades, Martin grapples with the sense of betraying his principles and finds little solace in his lavish new life, particularly his discontent with his affluent wife. Choosing to renounce the directorship and sever ties with Joyce and their child, Martin retreats to the solitude of Vermont's woods, where he reunites with former colleague Terry Wickett. Together, they conceive a plan to transform Terry's woodland abode into a sanctuary for research, free from external pressures and distractions. Despite pleas from his forsaken wife to reunite, Martin remains resolute, sacrificing everything in pursuit of his ideal as a dedicated scientist. Arrowsmith stands as a prime example of a scientific novel, delving into the ethos, ideology, and challenges inherent in the scientific community. Martin Arrowsmith emerges as a complex protagonist, his quest for moral purity in medical research, juxtaposed with moments of egotism and infidelity. Ultimately, his moral ambiguity serves as the central theme of the narrative. I hope you found this video enjoyable. If so, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you.